The inaugural MidWest LSA Expo took place October 1st to 3rd at the Mount Vernon Airport in Mount Vernon, Illinois. MidWest LSA Expo Inc. created the event to educate aviators about all facets related to the light sport aircraft industry. For more information on next year's Midwest Sport Aviation Expo, call 618-242-7016, or you can visit their website at www.midwestlsashow.com. Chris, this is quite the do that you're putting on here. Give me a little bit of history on the background.
The background is we were approached by a couple of the manufacturers about having a Sebring type show in the Midwest. They report that there are a lot of sales at the Sebring show. Bob's done a great job down there, and they said, you know, we need to have a show like that somewhere else. It is kind of hard to travel that far for us here in the Midwest, and so we were approached by a couple of manufacturers, Jabiru being one of them, and said, let's have one of these somewhere. And with our city and our infrastructure at the airport, our strategic location with a proximity to a lot of metropolitan areas, we said let's do it. So what happened is we got our airport together with our Chamber of Commerce, our economic development here in our city, as well as our city, and formed a non-for-profit board, and the rest is history. You're at it here at the first annual Midwest LSA Expo. We have probably 150 volunteers out there right now at this minute that are working, and it doesn't start right when the expo starts. It starts weeks in advance of getting the site ready. We've been working at this airport for probably a month and a half to get things ready for these 3 days here, and it's an incredible amount of work to do this, and hats off to all these volunteers. I mean, the opening night we were out there till 12:30 in the morning the following morning, getting airplanes staked down and tied and anchored, and you know, hats off to those guys and gals for doing this, because this isn't a one or a 20-person effort.
You had people going around and drilling holes where the manufacturers needed to tie their airplanes down.
That's correct. You don't want to leave airplanes. It doesn't matter if it's a light sport or a citation jet. You don't want to leave the airplanes out there without protection. So we devised a good way of doing this with Bob's help down at Sebring. And I want to say that Bob has helped with everything that we've done here. We've worked hand in hand, and we used Bob's anchoring method, and then made a couple tweaks to try to make it permanent out here on our ramp. And it took a lot of work, but we got it done. And we had 2 of our maintenance staff that were assisted with 4 volunteers that worked from about 1 o'clock in the afternoon till 10 o'clock at night, anchoring all the airplanes on open. All of us go to Oshkosh every year, and several of us go to Sebring, and we go to Sun and Fun, and so we knew the things that would make things life a little better for the attendees and the manufacturers here at this one. And one of the things is the travel to and from the venue to the hotel, and a lot of people fly their airplanes, and a lot of people fly commercially. And wouldn't it have been nice to have a shuttle service? And that's what we did. We contracted with a bus company here in Mount Vernon, and we put a shuttle service together, and it's been a hit. And as far as the evening reception, again, we wanted to really, we call it the wow factor here. And we did like a casino themed night that night, and people came and stayed, and they were here for 2 to 3 hours and just enjoyed themselves just with the fellowship and having a good time.
The manufacturers that I've talked to are very impressed in what's going, and they're indicating they're coming back again next year. But I'm again impressed at how many you were actually able to get to the show. I was talking to the Paradise people; they flew in from Florida. I was talking to the 3 Extreme people and the Navigator. They came in. One of them came in from Canada. I mean, you're bringing them in from Tennessee, from all over the place.
See, that goes back to the all that prep time, and we forged relationships with all these manufacturers back at Sebring. Saw them again at Sun and Fun, saw them again at Oshkosh, and I guess that personal handshake and do unto others is carried through here, and they believe in what we're doing, and they're here. So I mean, hats off to those folks too, because you know. Aviation is a small community, so if you could forge a good relationship, you've got a relationship for life.
The facility here itself, what type of an airport runway and stuff do we actually have here?
This is we call this a big city airport nestled in a small town. We've got a runway out there that could take a Boeing 757. We've had them in here before. We actually have 5 high production automotive plants within 35 miles of us, and so we do a lot of cargo at this airport. The airport infrastructure is for commercial service. So we still maintain our Part 139 air carrier certification even though we don't have a carrier. That comes with the ARF Index A protection and of course all the fencing and all the security that you would have at an air carrier airport. But you also have a mixing of ultralight airplanes, LSAs, all the way to King Airs and small jets here.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it. I was out doing some video and some photography work out on the runway, and I was actually talking to a gentleman that flies a Quicksilver MX.
That's
and then
correct.
I went into the hangar, and there's actually a school that's operating out of here that is teaching on light sport aircraft.
That's correct. We've got a flying club here that is close to securing a Jabiru to do light sport training here, and so we're not there yet, but we're really excited about that happening. And also, a fixed base operator is a heavy maintenance base for this area, and they just achieved their FAA certified repair station license. So we do a lot of maintenance here on the field too.
Now, what are some of the plans that you've got for next year? Because, I mean, this really looks to be a success from what I can see here now.
Well, one of the plans for next year, obviously we want to try to get more manufacturers here. We want to get more in the exhibitor hall. Exhibitor hall attendance was just a little bit down from what we really thought we could do. But according to Bob, Bob says just be patient. That grows kind of exponentially. So we hope that Bob's prediction comes true there. One of the things that we hope that you'll see next year when you come here is another 10,000 square foot hangar that will be built south of our big one around behind me where I'm standing right now. Aircraft storage is kind of hard for us right now. We have 53 based airplanes, which isn't a lot for a lot of airports, but it is for us. And every building we have here is just jam-packed with airplanes. And for us to even have an exhibitor hall here, a lot of our based aircraft had to go to other airports. And so we hope to have another hangar here before next year's show.
If somebody wanted to get in touch with you for next year's show, what's the easiest way to do it? Easiest
way is our website is MidWestLSAShow.com, or you could look at the Mount Vernon Airport.com website, and that's MTVERNON Airport.com.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.